How are you, bud?
I'm
Good
great.
to see
How
you,
are
man.
you? I just did some field goal challenge that apparently you're going to take part in.
I was asked to do that
I was
tomorrow.
2 of 3, so good
Were
luck.
you really?
Yeah.
No.
Did you see Wiggy in your travels?
I saw Wiggy.
Okay,
Yeah, I saw Wiggy. He's the one who sent me over here.
I know.
He goes,
And where's he at?
I don't know.
And what did he say?
I'm a little early. In fairness to him, he told me 12:30, but I found you guys a little early.
No. He's supposed to be working right now.
Yeah.
He's on the clock.
Supposed to be on. We're on air right now.
So he just gets up and
Wanders
meanders.
off. Yeah.
And
He's working hard, though, bud. He really is. He's in his element right now.
This is incredible. This is my really, all the Super Bowls that I've gone to as a player, you don't witness all of this. And so for me, now as a media, a member of the
pretty
media,
cool, isn't it?
This is all. I mean, the people I just saw Cam Newton over there.
Yeah.
Saw Teddy Karras, the guys you play with or played against, and it's really the entire football world coming together all in one place.
Speaking of guys you played with, where are you on Tom Brady, your longtime mentor, being unable to root for the Patriots in this game?
I mean, I couldn't care less.
I understand that, but there's a lot of people who could, Brian.
Think about it this way. He's part owner of a different franchise. They're hiring at least
Clint Kubiak.
So should he root against his future head coach? I just don't think it's as big of a deal. No, I don't think it is.
Brian, that is a weak sauce excuse. And you heard it from Vince Wilfork. You respect Vince Wilfork.
I do.
Teddy Bruschi.
You heard Vince Wilfork yesterday.
Yeah. There he is.
Here comes
Sorry,
Wiggy.
you were coming to find me. I was on my way to find you.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
We have a
recruiting
radio
talent.
show.
Yeah, I am trying to get people. I was trying to get Brian. I was bumped into Stephen A. Smith. I'm trying to go all the stuff.
Okay, all right.
I am
love
sorry about that.
No, you
Sick
got
brag.
me. You got me.
Yeah.
Sick brag, bro.
Yeah.
So, Vince Wilfork has no problem saying it. I guess he's not.
But he also doesn't own another NFL team.
Okay. Wiggy has no problem saying it.
No.
Also doesn't own part of the Raiders.
Ted Johnson has no problem saying it. Doesn't
Oh,
own
neither do I. I mean, I'm all for the Patriots, but I also don't have an ownership stake in the Raiders, and I'm hiring the guy that the Patriots are playing against.
But don't you think it's weird,
No.
Brian?
Look, of all the people,
understand
I
you're-
probably know him best out of all the people
Yes.
here.
I know you do.
If it were me, I'd be like, That's all I would have said.
Okay,
you know.
Okay, that's what he should have said is you know.
You know when Aaron Rodgers they asked him if he had the COVID vaccine, he goes, "I've been immunized." I would have just been like, you know.
That's what he should have said is you know.
Yeah.
At least
He
do that.
He
Yeah.
could have answered it better.
Yeah.
He could answer. All right, what are you thinking when it comes to the game on Sunday?
I think it's the two best teams in football squaring off against each other. I think it's the two most complete teams. Obviously, both good on defense, both good on offense. Special teams, obviously the Patriots with Marcus Jones, the Seahawks with Rashid Shaheed. These are the two best teams, and that's what you want in this game. It's not a best unit against another one. I think that this is going to be one of those really good matchups. And someone just told me this is the most unlikely championship game in all of the Big Four, right?
That's right.
As according to the odds beginning of the year.
Right.
And it just goes to show you why the NFL is so great, the parity. You can turn an organization around, and obviously you played with Vrabel. You guys know him. He brought in, and I think he had a plan from the get-go, and he said it after they beat the Broncos. These guys believed it before they saw the results, and they bought in. And I love getting to see him and interact with these guys. And he's tough on them, but he loves them up. It's a new generation of player, and he has figured out how to bridge that gap. And there's no stat that you can quantify team camaraderie and unity and all those things, but they've had that from week one all the way through. I thought they've been a complete team. They haven't been blown out by anyone. They've been in every single game. They fight to the end. So, I mean, that's what you need to win this game.
Brian, it's been a minute since, Drake's put together a solid game. I know, and you and I are kind of big on the conditions. Man, people just leave out the fact that these games were obviously conditions were a factor. How good does he have to play for the Patriots to win this game, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think he has to get back to where he was at in the regular season. I would love to see him have a Baltimore Ravens type game.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't all perfect, and it's not going to be. But when it comes down to it, and it's the end of the game. I know we talked about it on the show. Put the ball in his hands, and he's got to drive him down the field. I think it's going to come down to that. And so the other thing too, when I watch the film, obviously I'm watching the game live with all the rest of us. But when I go back and put the tape on and I watch him, and obviously I have a little bit of inside knowledge because I played in the system. He's going to the right spots. There's some times where he's held on the ball, but in the Houston game, my biggest negative play was when there's a miscommunication. He follows Mondre through the hole, and he's just loose with the football. Like the other one, strip sack. Dude, Will Anderson was there like this.
Right.
Like there's only so much
that
you can
wasn't
do.
on him.
But the throwing of the football in that game was, and I think, and I'll say this, I think Houston's defense is just a little bit better than Seattle's. I do. I think at every level they have a little bit better talent. I think their scheme is in a similar fashion. But no one threw 3 touchdown passes on the Houston Texans all year, and Drake did. So it's in there, and the weather won't be an excuse. And let's not forget, he is a Southern boy, okay? We claim New England and we claim the weather, but he hasn't really had to face it yet, and it's something you do have to adjust to.
Knowing the system intimately as you know the system, there's this thing floating around that somehow cover 6 turns Drake into a puddle.
It's cherry picking. Like I saw some of the clips. Each clip, like one's a third down, one's a first down, one's they threw remember that interception that was basically a punt against this is not like there's some kryptonite because of a coverage. It's just there's first of all, like you got to talk about like the numbers game, like what play did they call against that coverage? Like sometimes it aligns, sometimes you have the right play call, and all of a sudden they play. We called it cover 8. So first of all, like these guys out here talking cover 6, like there's certain plays that you want against that coverage. There's certain plays that you don't, and hopefully you get to the check down. Like the one was the tip pass against the Chargers.
Yeah,
like that's where you have to throw the football in that coverage. It's just sometimes offensive football. You go in with a plan, and then the defense has a vote too, and they decide to play a certain coverage. That dictates where you want to go with the football. So, the one interception against Baltimore was a scramble play. Like it wasn't like he misread the coverage. He scrambled out, and it was a miscommunication on the scramble. So, trust me, they know how to attack cover 8. They will be ready for it. And look, I don't think it's too far off that Seattle feels comfortable doing that, so I'm sure they'll test it.
So the sub-stackers watching film, not necessarily more versed than you or.
Well, to me, like
quarter, half, cover 6, cover 8. Red 7.
Yeah, red 7.
What were we talking about earlier? Was it Diggs where they were like? Diggs is running the wrong route.
He's running the wrong route. I'm like, how you know it? Are you in the huddle? Do you know what the play call is? Well, I can tell based on it. He's supposed to read that safety, middle of the field open. He should keep going.
Yeah.
Tampa 2 defense breaking across. I'm like, are you in the huddle?
To me, like that was when I, jumped to the other side of this, right, from player to media. The one thing that I always wanted to emphasize, like I played in every system.
Yeah.
And so how a play may be coached or run in Kyle Shanahan's offense and how Josh teaches it, although on the paper it may look very similar, it could be taught 2 different ways.
Yep.
And so for people to assume that they know, unless you've been there in the install meeting, you're in the huddle and you know, you don't fully understand. And so when people want to cherry pick this whole cover 6 thing, and I'm like looking, a few of them are on third down, which is a nickel or a dime defense. There's a few where it's base defense, and that's a totally like when we break down defenses, we don't just say, it's cover 6. We talk about what personnel grouping they're in, what's the down and distance, is it in the high red, is it on third down? Like those are all little games within the game. And so to cherry pick and say, well, they had a lot of success. Well, you got to look at like what's the situation of the game? Is it second down and it's a play action shot, and now they have this umbrella coverage and he can't throw it, so he's got to check it down? Like there's more that goes into it than just finding numbers and saying, well, he didn't have success against his coverage. That must be the kryptonite.
They hear one time somebody goes, that was the topper route concept.
Yeah,
that's the 2 posts.
2 post topper. Yeah.
So this is why I like the Patriots, and I heard you talking about this, but to me, this is why I think New England wins this football game, because at the end of the day, it comes down to the quarterback position, and it comes down to guys making 3-4 plays. That quarterback making those 3-4 throws that you're going to need to win the football game. And to me, when I look at both Drake Maye and Sam Darnold, because these are identical teams. Yep. You have a better rushing attack. You have all season long. Your offense, you score more points, total yards. Like these are these are identical, but it comes to the quarterback play. And you look at how the 2 played. Drake Maye has played better all season long than Sam Darnold.
I agree with you. And look, I love Sam Darnold as a journeyman quarterback myself. Like I love this guy. He's gotten this opportunity. He's taken advantage of it. He's in the Super Bowl. But the reality is, and no one's really – people just glaze over this, he had more turnovers than any other quarterback in the NFL this year. Yeah. Now, there's a recency bias. So against the 49ers – he really didn't have to do anything.
Right.
It was a bunch of.
It was over before it started.
Yeah, it was over before it started.
Yep.
Last week, 2 weeks ago against the Rams, like the Seahawks were still in control of the game for the majority of the game.
Right.
It never got to the point where the Rams were able to flip it, and all of a sudden the pressure went back on Seattle's offense. So I think the whole key to this game, if you're the Patriots, is we have to make Sam Darnold uncomfortable. We have to get out. Offensively, we can help our team out by getting an early lead and making them feel like, all right, we can't just run the ball and play action. We got to make them feel uncomfortable, and that would be a huge key. And then ultimately, Wiggy, like you said, which quarterback protects the football better? And Drake has not had an interception problem.
Right.
He's had a problem in the pocket and majorly in the playoffs because he's facing elite pass rush. I got to imagine that Josh, for the past 10 days, 12 days, is like, Drake, when I call these certain plays, we cannot take a sack. If we're calling a shot and you got to hang on to it, and sure. But the majority of these pass plays, when I call, like what Brady did against Seattle in 2014 against a very similar defense. I've heard the stories. I wasn't there, but it was basically like he went to the receivers like, fellas, the ball is coming out of my hand tonight. You better, when you break, you better have your eyes around because it's coming. So I think that's got to be the game plan, especially early, and then see if you can tire him out with Ramondre, get the run game going.
We had Cam Newton on earlier.
Yeah.
So
how'd it go?
It was great.
It was real
Where's
awesome.
Andy Hart?
We had a slight problem. We had a slight problem when he sat down and was about to go on. He couldn't identify the mic, the microphone. But other
It was
than,
very difficult. He told us.
You did say that to him.
But
What'd he do?
Couldn't identify the mic.
He said it was like he only knew 40%. There were 60 play.
He said
60 installs. He only knew 40. It was. He did a good job. But Drake is not as his Cam's comp. Rex Grossman, Brad Johnson. That's not the comp that you see there.
No,
right?
I mean,
Okay,
and I think Drake has kind of. Everyone wanted to say, like, what's he going to be like, right? Like, he comes in, is he going to be Josh Allen? I always said somewhere the type of player he was between Josh Allen and Justin Herbert because he's not as physical as Josh. Josh is a unicorn. Like, he's going to run over a linebacker and truck stick him. Herbert is more, I don't want to say.
That's the comp, Herbert.
But what I love is Drake is like, I want to be myself.
Right.
And I think Josh McDaniels has really emphasized to him, like, you can be a drop back passer, and you can be really good and pick them apart from the pocket. But like we saw Vrabel in the mic'd up, if they give you a lane to run,
take off.
And I think that could be the X factor in this game because the Seahawks they don't struggle at much, but they have, I think it's like 6 yards per carry for the opposing quarterback. So like if they give him a lane, and Ted, you know from defense, like when you have these guys ramped up trying to get to the quarterback, sometimes they get out of those rush lanes.
Yep.
And if he sees one and he takes off like he did in Denver, it could be a huge factor.
Speaking of mic'd up, you can take us inside the mind of a quarterback perfectly. That awesome exchange between he and Josh McDaniels. When Drake is saying it's so tough it's so hard. What's he talking about? Is he talking about weather? Is he talking about?
I think all of it.
Defense, okay.
I think all of it. I think the weather. I think obviously that defense is really good, and so you go into a game plan. You think like, all right, if they play this and we have this called, it should be there, and all of a sudden like they're bearing down on you and it's not there, and I thought it was so cool because, and I've seen this from Josh this year. Not coaching for Bill, not being a head coach, the joy with which he's coaching.
Yeah, feels that way.
And I was like, damn, like I wish I would have got some of that.
He laughed, right?
When I played against the Patriots with Josh in Vegas, there was a play, and I kind of overthrew Devontae Adams, and he came over and he's like, "You can't do that!" And I was like, "How come I didn't get that version of Josh?"
Right.
I didn't get the nice.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Great drive. It was right after I hit the long post against their. Like I was feeling good, like against my old team, and I missed a throw, and he's like slamming, and we joke about it now. But
not a big stat guy, but an interesting one is that. Super Bowl 60. So once we get to 60 Sunday, Josh McDaniels will have coached in 10 of the 60 Super Bowls.
Crazy.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal. I mean, his understanding, and I think, I get this question all the time. It's all encompassing. It's his coaching ability along with Tom's ability to learn and digest, along with the offensive line able to go from one play to another. Edelman and Gronk and Dola and James White, that was able to create the blueprint. And I think what's been cool with this year is none of these other assistants have ever coached with Josh before. So you've started to see a little bit of their influence on them, whether it's Todd Downing or whether it's Ashton Grant or Thomas Brown. Like, how many times have we seen some of those half-boot rolls where Drake pulls up and throws it back across the field, which is a West Coast scheme? So it's evolved to the players that he's playing with, and ultimately, having played in all these systems, there's no better offense that has a set ground rules and foundation that you can basically take that and go any which way, which is why we've seen, look, I mean, how many in the recent weeks, like these design quarterback runs from Drake, like Brady, like we weren't running that with Tom or me or even Mac Jones, so it can evolve.
By the way, I was on an island, Mac Jones Island, the only person in the world supporting him.
Yeah, you were.
I've always supported Mac.
What a great season he had.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him.
It's
I saw
not
him
surprising.
over here.
I'm guessing it's not surprising to you.
No, I mean, Mac's greatest asset is his processing ability and understanding. He had like this photographic memory. I've never seen anything like it. And that kind of got taken away from him when Josh left. He didn't have, like, that wasn't how we played offense anymore. And so for him to go back out with Kyle, who is very similar to that and is going to game plan things, and if Mac understands what the coach is looking for and he can process it quickly, like, I thought it was crazy because the 49ers were successful with Purdy, who held the ball longer than any quarterback in the NFL, but then Mac came in and got rid of it as quick as anybody. So it shows you, like, you can play in the same system a few different ways, and so he's regained that confidence. I saw him over here the other day, and he's back to his old self, and so I'm happy. I mean, look, playing quarterback in the NFL is the hardest job in all of sports, and you need a support system around you, and he had that as a rookie. He didn't have that the next 2 years, and then even down in Jacksonville. So
did Bill kind of throw him off with the non-support?
I mean, I think so. He's young, and you know, he's still trying to find his way in the NFL, and it was just a whirlwind of Josh leaving. How is the offense going to be run?
Patricia was running the offense.
Yeah,
come on, man.
And I love Matty P.
I know, but as an offensive coordinator,
no, and we had discussions, and there was, like, you know, the guys who had played offense for a long time, especially under Josh, we would say, Matt, like, with the protection, I don't think we can really do this. I don't know if you guys remember, we practiced against the Carolina Panthers that year in training camp. And I swear to God, if the quarterbacks were able to get hit at practice, we would have got hit on every single play because we didn't know how to pick up blitzes, all those things. And so we would go and try to address these issues, and you didn't have enough people who understood how to fix them. Right. And I think that kind of grew some distrust. And how are we going to go about this?
And you know how Bill is. You never go against the family. But once Matt kind of went against the family a little bit, that's
Jermaine, what should never happen is a player asks a coach, well, what's the answer? If that's the issue, what's the answer to it? And they don't have the answer. That's not good.
No, but Bill.
That was what was going on with Patricia, man.
Bill screwed that up because Patricia's a defensive
guy.
I know.
Right,
but you know, you've been with Bill, and Bill is, hey, you don't go against the family. You might not agree with the guy I gave you, but that's the guy I gave you.
You're right, Wiggy.
I think he thought that system was easy. Theoretically, you see it, a lot of people using it, but there's so much intricacies to that Shanahan offense. It's a lot harder to teach than you think, man.
Offense is so different from defense because I think offense, defense.
Ball, find ball, go get ball.
And what does a defense have to do? You have to see the offense line up, and then you have to make adjustments. So you kind of have your base rules, and then everybody, like, especially the years that I was there, that defense was so multiple. Like, hey, do this, do that. You know, J Mac and D Mac and J Jones. Like, but offense, you have to have like a set of foundational rules that cannot be broken.
Right.
And I think they tried to coach offense how you coach defense, and so you would kind of break the huddle and be like, all right, I don't know what it is yet. As opposed to when
we got to know what's going on. Defense is reactionary.
Yeah.
Those guys over there react. We have to process and do everything pre-snap, and then we kind of go from there.
Brian Hoyer, thank you. Podcast is going well.
Yeah, quick snap with David Andrews. He's actually heading out here, I think, tomorrow. So he's going to be doing some coverage.
Are you staying for the game?
I'm not. I'm going back. I came out to work. I got a father-daughter dance on Saturday night, and I got to take my daughter too. So I'll be doing a pregame on NBC Sports, pre and post game. So
I'll see you post game.
All right, I'll see you then. Great, awesome.
Thanks for taking the
time.
Thanks,
Brian.
All right,
that is Brian Hoyer.